Hey there, folks. It's the E-Man here. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done some videos. I think the last video was a Panzer Bandit. Hope you guys liked that video. Kind of a Japanese-only kind of PlayStation 1 game. I just thought it was interesting. I've been kind of like hitting a brick wall about what I would want to do a video on. Like, I'm aware that gameplay videos don't necessarily aren't really it doesn't really work for me, I guess. Gameplay, gameplay videos likewise. Like I'm sure a lot of people, you guys do not want to sit and watch like hours of me playing a game. But so I decided maybe I'll talk about controllers, like what controllers I have laying around, what controllers I use. Sure, a lot of you know I have like a lot of the other. I have some original hardware consoles, so I have a lot of different controllers. But I decided to just talk about some that I use. So. Who's it? Hyperkin Super NES wireless controller. So plug this in, charge it up, and use it. Yep. I was using it with I think I was using it with the Retron 5 because I have a Retron 5 around here. But I was using this one. It's a lot of these aren't very good. A lot of these, I remember the earlier, infrared ones and stuff. But Hyperkin ones, these are really more higher quality. Yeah, I'd like being able to not have a cord sticking out of a controller. Well, especially if you're playing. Well, nowadays it's just very convenient to have a wireless controller, obviously. Alright, oh, we got another Hyperkin controller here. I got my Hyperkin N64 controller. As you see, it looks just like an N64 controller. I believe it can use memory cards, rumble pack, everything that a normal N64 can use. I haven't really used this one. It's been kind of in storage. Well, I think I got it to kind of save it for but I just wanted it's an N64 controller, the old kind of school look to it, but modern conveniences. I think the joystick is different, more modern joystick. But everything else, is like you do the Z button under here. It's like, now this is like almost like a real N64 controller. Only it's Hyperkin. Great controller. Haven't really used it. Just kind of laying around as usual. Okay. Have a wireless GameCube controller that I got. I think supposedly this can work on. I think this can work on the computer and stuff. Well, in order for it to do that, it has to. Ow! Drop the controller on my foot. And of course, there's like a dongle here that, of course, will plug into the GameCube, so you can use it like that. But I think there's also a way. Yeah, if you have one of these adapters, well, Nintendo Switch, Wii U, PC Switch thing, there's a switch on it for PC and stuff. Yeah, that's how you can get this to work. I've tried using it on Dolphin. I didn't have much luck. But yeah, I just found this adapter at I found this adapter at a store called Martin's. I don't know if a lot of you know about that. It's kind of like like the store Ollie's that a lot of people talk about. Yeah, kind of a cool little doohickey here. Okay. Well, I mean, I think they make a modern one of this for the Switch too, because a lot of people like using GameCube controllers on other stuff, on fighting things. Let's see. Yeah, this controller's got turbo, clear button, turbo button. See, the buttons are controller's a little bit massive. I don't think it works as well like the Wavebird, like official GameCube controller, but yeah, like most people, I really love the GameCube controller. I feel like the GameCube controller was a natural evolution. Well, let's see here. Yeah. I mean, essentially, the C stick on the GameCube is much like the C buttons here. The same kind of concept. Very interesting. And well, they both use one control stick. Except this one's on the side, that one's in the middle. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Let's do a quick compare here between the Hyperkin N64 controller and what the original N64 controller is. See, it's almost exact, really. I think the D-pad is a little bit tougher, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty impressive. I mean, almost exactly the same controller layout. Of course, this is an official one. This is a remade one with Hyperkin. Oh yes, is it? And I had gotten a Rumble Pack. It's not an official Nintendo one, which is why it's missing the Nintendo thing. What is it? A CIRKI? Yeah. Kind of interesting. Yeah, Rumble Pack. Yeah, back in the day when controllers did not have Rumble built into them. Hey, as I've said before, you can switch this out between all kinds of different. Well, yeah, because you could get memory packs, Rumble packs. A lot of games you had to switch in and out for using Rumble packs. Yeah, they started doing that at some point. Well, PlayStation then made a controller that had it built into it. But, yeah. Nintendo was kind of innovative at one time. But... All right. And my other controller, I think I've shown off before, using it with my Retron 3D, my analog 3D N64 console, which is still a great console. If you can get one, you might want to get one. I mean, your N64 games aren't going to look as good as if they're recompiled or something, but whatever. Yep, this is the wireless. This is a 2.4 gigahertz N64 wireless controller. Of course, I cannot use Rumble packs or. Well, this has built-in Rumble into it. Yeah, it has built-in Rumble. Built-in Rumble. That's how it gets around that. And then also you can access the memory card because the dongle that this controller requires is right here. It just plugs on the N64, and that's like you can put your memory pack in there. So you can still do the features that the original controller had, but a little bit different. And there's a switch on here to switch between Rumble or memory card. Because some games didn't really use the Rumble, so a lot of them just use memory cards or whatever they were, like a mini cartridge that stores data on it. Like a memory card. Of course, the N64 they had to plug in through the controller, but whatever. Let's see. Yes. I think I've talked about this a bunch. My Sinden light gun. Been great. Of course, this is one that does not have the solenoid, so it does not have the doesn't have the rumble or the recoil noise that I should have gotten one that did. I still like the Sinden light gun. It is rather interesting. There's a lot of work you gotta do to kind of get this set up to work. Recently I had bought a hard drive that had a bunch of ROMs and emulators and games on it, and had it set up specifically for the Sinden light gun, and it's been like just great because everything's all set up. I don't have to monkey with it. The Sinden light gun requires a lot of work. Well, because you gotta not tons of work, but you have to do a lot. You can't just plug this thing in and hope it works. Before it uses camera and mouse technology. So a lot of times I'd be playing a game, it goes bonkers and it tries to access something on the computer or something. Yeah, you have to have, the lighting has to be specifically right because the lighting can mess it up. You have to be kind of a good distance away, but the Sinden light gun is still pretty good. I mean, I know there's other light gun things out there that are cool, but they only have a few games. The Sinden light gun allows you to have access to a lot of games and resources. Like I can use this with PlayStation 3 games. I mean, anything. It's just that you have to go in the emulators and really set it up. With that tiny hard drive, with all that set up, I don't even really have to worry about it. I mean, I had this set up on my mini computer, everything, but no, I really like using a hard drive that has everything all programmed out for me. So yeah, still light gun I think is still pretty good. It's still a good way to play light gun games on modern displays. Yeah, I think they still sell these. They're from Europe though, so you have to wait a little bit to get one. I remember having to wait a week or something for this one. Yeah, I think you get a pedal that's like a tons of money. I had to get this original like blue model. I think you get other colors and other stuff. Yeah, I can reload thing there. Yeah. Okay. And because I've recently added a new controller to the mix, different controllers I have. A wireless gamepad at 2.4 gigahertz retro fighters for the Dreamcast. As you know, the Dreamcast controller, I don't hate the Dreamcast controller, but I should have shown a Dreamcast controller. Some of you may not have seen one, but most of you do. The way the controller was set up, you had the cord kind of hanging, and you had to the cord was weird that the cord was hanging out the front instead of the back on it or something. Because this controller is a little more easier to use if you're using, well, I mean, you're playing a beat 'em up game or a fighting game. Let's say this a little bit easier. I notice it does not have the joystick; it only has a D-pad. Yeah, it only has a D-pad. Yeah, well, that fighting games. I guess I didn't think about that when I got this, but whatever. There's a lot of games for the Dreamcast don't really require the stick. I don't think. Let's see. Let's see. Introducing the Retro Fighters D6 Fighting Gamepad. A versatile 6-button controller designed for ultimate performance and feel on Dreamcast, PC, and Switch. Featuring a cutting-edge 2.4 GHz wireless connection delivered low-latency gameplay, position-focused D-pad, and face buttons, all integrated with tactile switches, no compromise design, onboard micros, input mode switches, and Dreamcast focused features ready to go. Okay. Yeah, so he has a Dreamcast retro receiver, USB receiver, USB-C charge and play cable, and quick start guide. Ooh. Yeah, so this is compatible with Dreamcast, Switch, and PC. Of course, probably can't really play this on 3D games apparently because it does not have a joystick on it, which I didn't really think about it when I got it. But whatever, it's still a nice controller, I think. Yeah, as you can see on the back, you can put the VMU thing, has a thing for it, the VMU. Yeah, for the VMU, and then like the original plug-in, and then it has got like a little wireless dongle for the PC if you use this with the PC. Yeah, D6. I have not opened it, have not even used it. It's just been kind of laying around, but I was kind of intrigued by it. It's always nice if on the Dreamcast, because I don't think the Dreamcast controller is a little bit weird. It can be a little wonky at times, I think. So it's nice to have a nice, especially if you're doing a fighting game or whatnot. And there's a lot of fighting games on the Dreamcast, so I don't think you're going to run out of games to play with this. Maybe the D-pad could work pretty well on the 3D ones. I don't know, but yeah, and I kind of like how the design of it and everything is. I might do like an unboxing of this, maybe at some point, maybe, but maybe not. I don't know. I like to do unboxings, but there hasn't quite been anything to really. Yeah, I would like to talk about some of the things I've heard about. Because we got the AI data centers, and supposedly chip shortages are going to start happening. So memory prices. I've been looking at memory prices. They definitely have gone up, like a little bit. I've noticed prices. Well, things where I saw it used to be $80 for a lot of memories, now like 100 and something. Supposedly prices are going to be going through the roof, and Yeah, I don't know. We got all kinds of interesting things. Supposedly console prices. A lot of weird things like the Steam machine now is not really what we kind of thought it was going to be, but or the Steam machine price is probably going to be like $1,000 or something. A lot of companies are getting rid of their like if you get like a yeah, recently like the Steam Deck, recently they got rid of one of their smaller well, because they had a version that had less RAM and stuff. A lot of those are starting to go away. I've seen a lot of those mini computers now. They're coming. You can get them. Well, I saw one mini computer you can get for $139. The catch is it would have no RAM. Yeah, no RAM, no SSD, no operating system either. Excuse me, no operating system either. Yeah, you can still get them, but that is weird. There's like a bare bones thing. Yeah, they're gonna start being shortages. So a lot of people aren't going to be able to have a lot of computers. I've heard in Japan, a lot of places in Japan really want to buy older computers to reuse the RAM. So maybe some of us are kind of guilty of getting tons of RAM and then we have a lot of extra RAM laying around. Try to go get that recycled. Yeah, as there's a big demand for it, a lot of smaller companies aren't going to be able to produce enough. So they're either going to quit making RAM and stuff. And of course, the bigger companies that can afford to put up that. I mean, they're going to put that up. They're in there, and they're a big demand for RAM for these AI data centers supposedly. So yeah, there's all kinds of weird things. The video game industry is just a very weird place. It seems. While the video game industry has become like the Wild West, like everyone's kind of out there. They don't really know. Companies don't really know what the heck they're going to be doing. But yes, I would. Switch 2 price is probably going to go up. So I mean, if you're thinking about getting a Switch 2, if you really want one, you should probably think about getting one sooner rather than later. If prices go up, if this is really going to be as bad as some people think it's going to be. I've heard rumors, supposedly this chip shortage or whatever. I mean, during the pandemic, we had a lot of problems with computer components, but eventually there won't be this big demand for RAM. I think currently there's just going to be a big demand because of the whole AI nonsense. Whatever. I have heard that there's a lot of issues with Windows 11 and whatnot. I guess I'm kind of happy I'm still on Windows 10 here, so I've heard there's been a lot of issues with Windows 11. Well, using NVIDIA graphics cards and yeah, there's some graphic card companies trying to sell us like older GPUs and kind of like dressing them up to look like that. But yeah, well, yeah, of course the price on video cards going to be going through the roof. So yeah, I don't know if the computers themselves have been going up, but yeah, I guess you really want to look at like some things. But then some have rumors that some companies they may not give you, they may charge you the same price, but for less RAM, which that doesn't sound very good. But maybe because they have a shortage. Yeah, well, every time they make a computer, I mean, you got to put RAM and an SSD in it in order to run it. I know about the no operating system. Is Windows 11 really that difficult to duplicate on multiple computers and whatnot? Hmm. Of course, I have Windows 10 here and I'm getting security updates and stuff. But of course, that's only until October. So, yeah, October of this year. So I will, well, I don't know. I mean, it depends on how long Steam supports Windows 10. Eventually, Steam will probably quit doing Windows 10, but I don't know. I think in the physical future, probably not. And I guess a lot of people would probably be telling me, as well as PC gamers particularly, would tell me you probably want to wait as long as you can with Windows 10 before trying to upgrade. I have Windows 11 on my mini computer, my Geekom mini computer that I've had for quite a while. I had gotten it originally to do Launchbox on it. but run into some issues. I have to expand it, like I should put some more RAM on it so maybe it runs a little bit faster. Uses Intel graphics, so of course it's not, it can't run games. I was able to play StarCraft 2 on my mini computer on incredibly low settings, but it did run. I probably just need to get a little bit more RAM, and of course, all of a sudden, oh, well, now prices are going up. So, yeah, especially if you want to build a computer or upgrade a computer, you might want to do it now. Thankfully, this current computer I'm using, my Omen gaming PC, I recently did add memory to it and get a new video card for it. So thankfully, I did that before the prices went up. But yeah, and I'm just looking at sales for computers, just kind of looking at it. At some point, I'm probably gonna have to get a newer computer, at least for gaming wise. So I will eventually have to get one. I've looked at ones that are like $500, and there's ones that are like $400. So I'm not looking at like super powerful one. I do know that you can of course, a lot of gaming computers like buy new motherboards, switch them out, but for how much that costs, yeah, and how much I'd have to make sure I did it properly, because you buy a tower computer and everything. My Omen computer is designed to be like that, but I'm not really sure. Like, I haven't really looked into it, and I was kind of thinking about almost getting out of PC gaming. I'm still gonna have a PC, but I may not be as well, especially now. I have to make certain decisions about what more cost effective doing it. And right now, I think consoles are kind of a little more cost effective. Well, maybe not if you're buying them brand new. Luckily, I've been able to get a PlayStation 5 and have next gen consoles. And of course, I can use my capture card, so I don't have to be like too crazy about making sure I always have the latest and greatest PC game on here. But hopefully, I'll be doing some more videos about some other more modern games rather than looking at old games. But I do like to be known as Mr. Retro a little bit sometimes. Okay. Well, I hope you guys liked this video. Please like and subscribe. And feel free to leave any comments you may have about, like what controllers do you have, or like what controllers are really do you think are the best, or I mean, sometimes there is a lot of nostalgia about playing on actual hardware with an actual controller because it feels like, hey, this is how it was meant to be played, and whatever. So it's been pretty good. Yeah, the weather's been rather interesting. It's kind of winter again. We had one day that was like 44 degrees, rain. Now we had a bunch of snow, I think, on Saturday, and then we had some snow yesterday as well. Yeah, got kind of ominous out there. I have snow tires on my car, and even I was a little bit. It was a weekend. I think they don't really plow the roads as effectively on the weekend as they do on the week, because most people weren't really out on Sunday, I guess. Yeah, it's a slow time. Yeah, we're supposed to get more snow tonight, I think. Yeah. Hopefully I'll be able to get to work tomorrow. I don't know. I have to leave pretty early, so a lot of times the roads will be cleaned up by 12, but it depends when it quits snowing. That's always the issue if it's snowing here. If it quits snowing, usually the roads can get nice and cleaned off, but if it keeps snowing, they have to really go out there, and it feels like during the week they're a little more aggressive with it. Yeah, probably another like 2 or 3 inches tonight, probably, but at least tomorrow ain't gonna be any snow. Let's see. It says it's 32 out, so it's a little bit warmer. A little bit warmer out there. Uh, well, nice to get. Yeah, we're not. At least we're not getting a negative number days. I know they talk about days being 20 degrees. Like, I'll take it. I'll take 20 degrees over negative 15 any day. Yep, and now it's January here, so kind of in the middle of winter. Get through winter here in Maine, I guess. Yep. Yeah, currently raising chickens too, so I've got some chickens outside. I have to go check on them. We make sure that they're warm and they have food, water, and all that stuff. Yep. They're kind of tired of being cooped up because it's like, it's been, well, it's winter. They don't really want to go out when it's really cold for them. Yeah, as long as they stay dry, stay out of the wind, they usually do pretty well. Nice little house for them that my mother had found plans for and we had built. So, yeah, got chickens out there to go out and check on them every once in a while. Well, anyway, as I said, if you leave any comments about any controllers you use and whatever, and I will see you guys in another video, perhaps. I really have to try to really think about stuff material for videos. Or sometimes I'm just kind of not in the right state of mind. I've noticed that sometimes, I don't know if I'm tired or just like the not a very relaxed state of mind sometimes. And I mean, sometimes I get stressed about things that there's nothing I can really do about, but it's like, whatever. Alright, well, see you guys later then. See you guys later. Bye.